Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom with this week's SBR Industry News Update, reporting for sportsbookreview.com. With football season drawing near each day, it has never been more important for sports bettors to do their homework. Beware of overly generous bonuses and promotions that seem too good to be true. And stick to quality bookmakers with long track records and documented histories. Reading the SBR recommended list and ratings guide is one way to keep up to date with quality sports books. If you do insist on playing at a new book, it is imperative that you read the SBR Sportsbook and Industry Forum for player feedback on the sportsbooks. Additionally, today, SBR launched its annual player poll of top sportsbooks. Please do check the forum to take part and see what people are saying. Now for a look in the SBR news bag. A YesBet sports player has not been paid since July the 2nd. The player asked for a $4,000 payout, providing his ID as well as a bank statement. The player began to question if he would be paid, seeing as how YesBet.ag has gone up and down more than repeatedly with a litany of technical issues. After SBR contacted YesBet, the sportsbook promised that a manager would personally call the player the very same day to address the outstanding payout. YesBet failed to contact the player or give any meaningful update for the last 2 weeks. YesBet.ag was introduced to the SBR blacklist on May the 2nd. SBR urged players to avoid new startup companies that have no verified financial resources and spam posting forums with their free cash bonus offers. SBR asks players with YesBet feedback to write to help@sportsbookreview.com. Now, Bet770 is continuing to be a magnet for bonus complaints. Many players continue to complain of drastically lowered limits while their bonus rollover is pending. Approximately 12 players have written to SBR with complaints of this kind. A player recently complained that his limits were cut to a maximum of £31 per bet with a rollover of £1,200. SBR has contacted Bet770 on these disputes and has usually secured a more reasonable betting limit for players. Bet770 failed to respond to the latest complaint for nearly a week. Now I'd like to welcome lead dispute analyst Justin Seven to the program to discuss these issues in more detail. Justin, books should know better than using ridiculous limits on players. What is Bet770 thinking here?
A lot of times when a book limits a player, you have this disconnect between the traders and management who oversee everything. In this case, a trader looks and says, I think this player is going to hurt us. They don't even know what the pending rollover is, and they just cut it. Then you contact management. Management says, yes, this is not a reasonable limit, and they raise limits. What I generally try to aim for when we're negotiating a higher limit for a player is to allow them to meet their entire rollover in 10 or 20 bets. So in this case, the player had a limits of 31 pounds and a 1,200 rollover requirement. That would be 40 bets. So if they gave him a limit of 120 pounds, he could meet that in 10 bets, and that would be fair. And they've done this in the past. But for whatever reason, they haven't responded to this complaint yet.
Do you have any recent disputes against any scam books?
Yes, we have another dispute against against 12bet. In this dispute, a player deposited $1,000. He got a 250 bonus. He ran his balance up to 3,680, but hadn't met his rollover. Now, 12bet has this gotcha rule, where if you don't meet your rollover within a 90-day period, not only do they forfeit your bonus, not only do they forfeit your winnings from the bonus, they forfeit all the winnings on the entire account. So in this case, they're going to confiscate 2,680 euros from the player on this gotcha rule.
Didn't SBR have several disputes against 12bet earlier, which we successfully resolved?
Yes, we did. And in those disputes, we tried to contact 12bet. They would not respond. When we contacted the regulator on the Isle of Man, at that point, they intervened, and the players received most of their winnings, which was a satisfactory result.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Justin.
Thank you.